If you've been told Hashimoto's is irreversible, you're about to learn why that's wrong as I tell you about the worst case I've ever seen and how she got better. If you find this information helpful, please like and subscribe so more people can see this video. My name is Dr. Thomas Rofrano from the Natural Medicine Clinic in Palm Beach Gardens, Florida, and author of The Free Diet. And one of my most memorable patients over the last almost 40 years of practice is a 53-year-old woman who came in with fatigue, brain fog, bloating and constipation, hair loss, aches and pains, anxiety, insomnia, itchy skin, hives and rashes, numbness and tingling in various parts of her body, and a stinging sensation that would come periodically, especially when she was in bed at night. She said it felt like someone was sticking needles in her. She had been to many doctors, many tests. All they could come up with is idiopathic peripheral neuropathy, prescribed nerve medication, which she reacted to. So she was at her wit's end. I ran lab testing and it showed she had Hashimoto's autoimmune thyroiditis. Her thyroid globulin antibody level was almost 5,500, normal less than 40. And her TPO antibodies were 272, less than 34 is normal. I referred her to an endocrinologist and she told her it's an autoimmune condition. They don't know what causes it, nor is there any cure. Prescribed her Thyroid and said it would just continue to get worse over the years as her body is making these antibodies that will continue to deteriorate the thyroid. So she took the medication, nothing changed with her symptoms, and she was very frustrated. So the first step in reversing Hashimoto's or any autoimmune condition is finding out the root causes. What is it that's triggering the immune system to produce antibodies to attack your own body? So we look at 5 areas. 1 are deficiencies. Some of the nutrients she was deficient in were vitamin D, B12, magnesium, iron, all which are important for proper immune function and proper healing. We checked for toxins, in her case heavy metals. She was high in mercury and lead. Other toxins that can trigger autoimmune conditions are mold and environmental toxins. Infections, she had bacteria and candida yeast overgrowth in her gut, as well as 2 parasites. One which was Blastocystis hominis, a common trigger for Hashimoto's. Under food sensitivities, she had a gluten sensitivity, which is strongly linked to Hashimoto's, and had other food sensitivities to yeast, dairy, eggs, legumes, sugar, and others. She had leaky gut, which is also a trigger for autoimmune conditions, and under hormonal imbalance. Besides thyroid, she also had adrenal dysfunction due to all the stress she had been enduring. Now that we know her root causes, step 2 is an anti-inflammatory diet that I call the Free Diet. It's a diet I came up with years ago when I was dealing with my own autoimmune Hashimoto's and rheumatoid condition, IBS, fatigue, skin, and other health issues. I was sensitive to gluten and a gluten-free diet didn't work. So I created this diet which allowed me to get better. And I call it the Free Diet because it's free of not only gluten, but gluten grains, sugar, yeast, dairy, eggs, soy, legumes, nightshades, processed foods, all those foods most commonly responsible for inflammation, gut, thyroid, and other chronic health issues. If you'd like us to send you the Free Diet Phase 1 food chart and other resources, I'll put a link below. We'll be happy to send that to you. And a link to a video at the end of this one that goes into the Free Diet in more detail. And step 3 with the proper supplements. I gave her the Functional 5, which is multi-fish oil, vitamin D with K, magnesium, probiotic, other gut support supplements, iron, vitamin C, zinc, B12. And I'll typically use for Hashimoto support curcumin, selenium, NaC-Inositol, and B-complex. I also gave her iodine for a time because she tested low in it. I recommend taking iodine though if you're deficient and if you're monitored, as it can make thyroid issues worse if you don't need it or if you take too much. So with the Free Diet and the proper supplements, she was able to reverse her Hashimoto's as her antibodies went down from 54, 75, and 272 to normal, and she still sees me periodically. So her test last year still showed normal thyroid globulin and TPO antibodies, and this is 15 years later. So she has maintained her improvement, and all those crazy symptoms she was having, hives, stinging, numbing sensation, itchy skin, fatigue, brain fog, anxiety, insomnia, gut symptoms had all improved. And I was very happy that she could enjoy her life again. So if you have Hashimoto's, chronic gut, or other health condition, it's important to get the proper testing first and the proper interpretation, because if you find out the root causes and are provided the right solutions, I believe almost anyone can get better. I'll put a video here that goes into the free diet in more detail. The free diet phase 1 food chart below. Feel free to like and subscribe so more people can see this video, and I'll see you next time.